Welcome back, universe. This is Tom and Mark off the rails coming to you. Where are we coming from?
We are live in the Highland, what do we call it? Highland Tower Studios.
Oh, just the Highland Tower.
I came up with that name. I should remember it.
Yeah, very good. And we have a special guest today, impromptu guest, just out of nowhere.
A friend of mine who actually moved out of Milwaukee, Mr. Brendan Makarewicz.
All right.
Is that how you pronounce it?
How do you pronounce it, sir?
Smith.
Brendan Smith.
Brendan
Helps
Smith.
people.
Can you give the audience like a 2-sentence tease about yourself, and then we'll get to the interview in a little bit?
I'm Brendan Makarewicz. I'm from Milwaukee. I moved out, and I'm back and forth.
All right.
Good enough.
I do have to just make one comment is 80% of our interviews have been gingers for some reason. Have you noticed that?
One of your hosts was a ginger.
Yes. Wow. That's just
Can you clarify what a ginger is?
a person.
You, sir.
Yep.
Oh.
A person who has no soul, and the doors at the grocery store don't open for you when you walk up to them. Those are soul detectors.
Okay. But
So,
I can see my reflection in this window here.
well, that means you're
not
not
a
a
mirror.
vampire.
Oh, okay. I've been referred to as daywalker.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah, that's
more or less?
I don't like that for you because you have freckles. A daywalker doesn't have freckles.
Oh, I don't have like your typical freckles. I've seen some freckles that are just all over a
Oh
body.
yeah, we had Diner on. He
They're on
has.
your face, sir. He pulls
That's
his
about
sleeve
the
up.
only
I don't
place.
have any freckles.
Yeah, on
That's
the
about the only
underbelly
place.
of my arm.
They're the only place where it counts.
When I was a kid, I'm not Irish, but my mother took me to Irish Fest and she put me in the freckle contest, and I lost. I was in last place. Those kids were completely freckles.
Really freckled.
Yeah.
They look like they should be playing a banjo on Deliverance.
Yeah. It made me embarrassed to even say that I had freckles, so it was
Oh wow.
it's not good.
Well, I'm glad you've been able to overcome that
Sometimes.
adversity.
Yeah. Until now I'm called the ginger.
Oh, all right. Well, at least you share it with a lot of people, so that's fine. Hey, you're welcome here.
I appreciate it.
Yep. No, you keep your ginger at the door. All right. Have you guys seen the China guy death?
No.
I just found out about this today. Tom showed this to me earlier.
Okay.
It's called China Guy Death.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna read a little bit about this. China daredevil dies while performing stunt on rooftop at 62-story building. I love how they spelled story with an E there. So this is totally legit.
That's good English.
Good English. 26-year-old Wu Yongning. He was a Chinese daredevil who used to make money by doing all these death-defying stunts. Look at these selfie stick pictures that he's taking right here. You see that?
As he's doing the stunt.
He's basically dangling on the top of a skyscraper needle.
Yes.
Well, and they get paid for doing this, too.
Yeah, people give you money. This guy was, on the stunt he died in, he was getting $15,000 for a wedding that he couldn't afford.
How do you get into that field? How does that become a job? I like to climb things. Hey, here's some money. Go climb that thing.
You ready to watch this?
Oh, I'm ready to watch.
All right.
Okay, here.
Wait, are we actually going to watch him plummet to his death?
He was filming it.
Yes and no.
Well,
We're
he's
gonna
got still cameras set up, and here he is. He was, here, we'll play it a little sooner.
This is his camera.
He's paid to do like 3 pull-ups on the edge of a 62-story building. There he goes. He's doing pull-ups. He probably should have only did 2 because that third one is giving him some guff. And he's struggling with his feet. But now it looks like he's going to be all right. Oh, wait.
But it's a really slick surface with nothing. It's all windows.
Yeah, it
and
looks like it's glass or steel or something.
And, well, he's got kind of up. Yep. That's it. Well, there you go.
That's the end of him.
And
Ugh, that's just
But
terrifying.
apparently this is a huge fad.
Like
Lots of people
parkour?
are doing this. And they're getting
In
paid
China?
to do it. And
all over the place, like France and...
they're saying, go to this building, do this.
Is this
Okay,
happening in the U.S.?
Well, we're on the
I don't
third
know.
floor of a building.
yeah,
How much
didn't
would it
some
cost
guy-
to get you out that window?
$15,000. Do
But
I have to do pull-ups?
1.
But this is just crazy. Like
I'll
the
do it for a
first-
chin-up
I
for half
saw
the
this
price.
story, and the first one I saw, all of these people were commenting on it, and laughing. They thought it was hilarious.
That he died.
They're laughing about it.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
mean,
like-
I felt awkward watching it. I'm like, knowing he was going to die, I'm like, oh.
And then he.
That's why I asked, were we going to witness the actual...
So
I mean, we just see the fall.
Yeah.
We don't
We
see
don't
the
see-
logical
He died.
consequence of the fall,
Yeah.
but we do see him fall out of frame. And that's
Blip.
the last time
And
he
they're-
was on camera.
They're showing this video as a cautionary, like, I
Don't
mean, these
do
guys
this.
they're
Yeah.
obviously putting their life on the line every time they're going out there, and this
Yeah.
is just crazy. But
For 15,000, I wouldn't do that for 15.
No.
He should have raised that up.
15,000 American?
Yeah, I'm pretty
'Cause,
sure.
like,
yes, they
That's-
said how much it was going to be in like,
That's the whole thing, like with
but
the
they
Chinese
translated it
sweatshops,
to
is
it would have
their
been 15,000 in American.
the American dollar is so strong compared to the yen in China.
Mm-hmm. I
that
guess
15. You might be able to live off $15,000 for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I guess if you compare, well, you can work in a sweatshop for pennies or 15,000 right now.
to do 3 pull-ups.
Yeah.
If you look at this guy, it shows videos and pictures of all the other stuff that he's done, and it's nuts. Just all these death-defying, and he's up on top of these really tall buildings with the selfie stick, taking pictures and videos and doing all this crazy
Now, when I was
stuff.
reading about this, you're from Pittsburgh. I thought there was a guy in America who just died off a 6-story building in Pittsburgh.
I don't know.
I haven't heard about that. I'm from Milwaukee. I live in Pittsburgh now.
You
But,
live in Pittsburgh.
I haven't heard about that. I don't know why they would do it only from a 6-story. We do have the steel building there in Pittsburgh.
It must
which
be
is
harder to
about
get up.
60 flights up, so...
Well, 60 or 6, you're still dead
I
either
wonder
way.
what
guess.
kind
Either
of
way,
tickets
I'm
they can get if
taking
they
the
get
elevator.
caught doing this.
You know, I wonder the way he was doing the pull-ups. Obviously, he must know how to do them. Being that high up,
He's done
the
it
air.
a lot.
Okay, well, the air probably quality. That's probably why he was struggling. He probably could do 50 without any problems down on the
And then
ground.
the oxygen level
Yeah,
and the adrenaline rush.
At the risk of besmirching China, that may have been the cleanest air he's had all week.
yeah. Like, you know what? You could see him. Like, I've read stories that you can't even see in front of your face in China, or maybe it's clearer up there. I don't know. 60. Maybe he only could do it.
like-
He's going to get a camera view at 60 stories up. If you tried 6 stories, you weren't going to get a camera view.
Yeah. This
I don't
is
know.
the first time the camera actually showed.
But for 15,000, he's done it before, so he's probably made more money
Yeah.
Yeah.
before. I don't know. I wonder what he was going for. How much? Who's going to cost him to stop doing those kind of stunts?
Well, they said that he was trying to help his family and something about medical bills, and I don't know. But
Jeez.
Well, there's no medical bill for death, so he's done.
I just couldn't believe
Do they
some
still
of
give his
people's
family the
reactions.
15 grand?
I would think so.
There should be
This
a
is-
clause, like, hey,
everyone's
if I
talking
die-
about it now. That's what the point was, right? Publicity.
GoFundMe page.
Go fund my death.
Oof.
Ooh. Yeah.
Too soon. Too soon.
Hey, he chose it, not me.
That is true. He was a working man, and he died doing what he loved.
Capitalism at its
Fallen 62 stories to his death. Exactly what he loved. All right, what else do we got going on here?
Well, another story we saw that I thought Brendan might have an interesting opinion on. Brendan, you are a lawyer, right?
best. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So is that just
Only
for,
when I talk to
is that
cops.
just for in Pittsburgh, or is that for Milwaukee, or the whole country? You know,
I'm only licensed in Pennsylvania right now because
Pennsylvania. Okay.
I've only been licensed now almost 2 years. So after 5 years of practicing law, they have reciprocity in Wisconsin. You can go into that. I can then
Okay.
get licensed here, and without having to take the bar over.
All right. Well,
Okay.
Tom showed me a news story about a 94-year-old woman who was arrested for not paying the rent in her retirement facility.
Okay.
So it got to a
She
point.
refused to leave.
Yeah, she refused to leave. She couldn't pay. So they basically handcuffed. Well, they say they didn't handcuff her, but she has some scars on her ankle from handcuffs. They took her down to the
They
station
handcuffed her
and they
ankles?
arrested her while they were processing her, I guess.
So she wouldn't run away.
Yeah,
94-year-old, you know.
not really necessary.
Run away.
But I was thinking, like, we were discussing this loosely. It's like, well, if this lady had nowhere else to go,
Yeah.
because if she just left and moved out, she would be living on the streets, and that's probably the end of her. She's 94 years old.
Likely. Okay.
So, do you think she was like, yeah, whatever, a roof over my head, yeah, I'll go to jail?
No, she said she laid on the ground and made him carry her out.
She may have walking issues.
Did it say why she stopped paying rent?
She had no money.
She just was
She
out
didn't,
of money.
She didn't plan to live to 94 years old.
Yeah. When you're a prostitute your whole life and you're 94,
I'm sorry, she was
Kinda-
a prostitute.
No.
That is an unconfirmed.
that is unconfirmed. I'm just saying the clients either die or dry up when you're 94.
Well, what kind of place was she living in? Do we know?
In assisted living.
So those can be pretty costly.
Those are super expensive. Susan had a grandmother who passed a few years ago, and she was moving between those places, and I was just awestruck at how many thousands of dollars per month it costs.
Yeah, depending on the state. Now, California, they have pretty affordable ones. $3,000 will get you a pretty nice, safe place.
It's kind of ironic with the property values in California.
Yeah.
$3,000.
Yeah, they're protected. $3,000 though a month. Yeah, but it's more affordable than say here where they cost minimum. Like that's for a good one, $3,000 would get you a good one. Here, you're taking a risk. You're only paying $3,000.
Wow.
When my grandmother got up there, my aunt and uncle wanted to put her in a facility here in Mequon. It cost $10,000 a month. I don't know. Oof. They think she was made of money, and that was a huge argument. And her money dried up pretty quick there, as you can imagine.
For $10,000 a month, she could have stayed here.
Yeah,
just saying.
Yeah, well, that was where we were fighting with. We were let her pass away in her own home, or they wanted to put her in assisted living because it depends on how the kids want to do it. They didn't want to take care of her, or we kind of wanted to take care of her while she was living there. So it does take a toll on you, but I don't know. So you're asking me, does she have a legal right to stay there?
Well, I was just curious what your opinion on this story was.
Arresting a 94-year-old woman.
Yeah, first of all, arresting a 94-year-old woman. And
she was breaking the law. Does age matter?
No, age doesn't matter, unfortunately. It depends what topics, but for this, not paying rent, that wouldn't really matter. Obviously, age matters if you're talking rape, statutory rape, or
like a juvenile record.
Yeah, juvenile record. If you're under 18, whether you're going to be tried as an adult or not, whether you have the mental capacity, whether you knew right from wrong.
What about mental capacity for someone with frontal lobe damage because they're too old?
That's possible.
Dementia setting in. But at the same time, those places now with the... But a street cop doesn't worry about dementia setting in. He just says, I'm here. I have to get this person out no matter who they are.
I wouldn't say that they don't worry about it, but they have to remove any empathy from that because the law is the law.
Okay.
Which my heart goes out to the 94-year-old woman. She's out of money. But at the same time, it depends on what kind of retirement she has. Does she have Social Security? Does she have any other benefits? Yeah, pensions can dry up. That's very true. Or she could have moved to a Medicaid facility, and that might have been an option, but Medicaid facilities sometimes aren't the best care as compared to a more your $10,000 a month place. So does she have any legal remedies? Probably not. She's just going to get booted out. I wonder how much notice they gave her. Like, did they just say you didn't pay rent on the 5th?
And the story said it was a long time coming.
This was not something that just happened overnight.
It wasn't really like you're 3 days late, here come the cops. It was months and months.
Okay.
Maybe even years.
So where do you draw the line then? Do you say, oh, we're just going to let everyone who doesn't pay rent stay here forever?
The landlord is just like, is this bitch ever going to die? I don't want to have to. She just keeps living.
Also, it's interesting. He's 94 years old. Who knows about the landlord? Because there was a case that I helped out with where it was an elderly woman who was letting another elderly woman rent her house at a pretty dirt cheap rent. And then the owner, the landlord, she passed away, and her sister inherited the apartment and realized she could get a lot higher rent. So she evicted this elderly woman, and the woman really had she didn't have the money, so she had to leave, but she couldn't afford any other rents. We ended up getting her to an assisted living facility. We found that she could get some extra benefits through the VA. Her husband was a veteran who had passed away from a service-connected condition, but for that long time, for 4 or 5 months, where the rent, it was like tripled. Ooh. The sister just tripled the rent on this woman, and she couldn't pay for food or anything.
Well, tripled if she was charging her like $100 a month.
No, the original landlord was charging her about $400 a month.
And the going rate in the area, do you know?
Oh, the going rate in this area was probably about $1,500 to $2,000.
So it became a going rate apartment.
Yeah. Well, once the sister inherited it, that other the original landlord, she was probably doing out of the goodness of her heart. She had probably owned it. She wasn't losing any money. Probably was just covering taxes.
So it probably would have been beneficial for them to have like a long-term lease, like a 10-year lease situation.
Yeah.
Because you always think, I don't want to sign a long lease as a renter. This is going to screw me.
Yeah.
But in this situation, it may have been beneficial.
Yeah. And it depends on the states too. So like in DC for your leasing, you have to sign a year lease when you come in. But once the lease is done after a year, you automatically are just there. You can stay there. Either party has to give 30-day notice, or you have to give 30 notice. They can't really evict you.
I think that's how it is here too. Usually it's like month to month if no one does
after the
anything
first year.
Yeah.
So this one, the woman just said kicked her out, and this woman was living on $1,000 Social Security a month. So once it went from $400 to $1,200, well, she didn't have any money for anything else. So
all right,
but yeah, I have to know more on the story. But yes, they can arrest her. I've never heard of anybody putting handcuffs on ankles. But
I think that's after you're in jail.
Yeah, when she was actually in jail at that point, because the story said they didn't put handcuffs on her, but the story did point out that she had what looked like markings on her ankle from at some point.
She was a badass. She brought her own handcuffs.
Well, maybe she was a runner, you know.
Or maybe she liked 50.
Well, I think it's kind of clever on her part.
50 Shades of Grey.
Is it?
Oh, you call them handcuffs? Let me go under my bed here. I got some fucking handcuffs for you.
Kind of like what's
they
the movie
got to
Forgetting
choke
Sarah
me.
Marshall?
If I can breathe, they're not handcuffs.
I love that opening with Forgetting Sarah Marshall, where she kept saying hi, and then he's like, "We stop it. You can gag me. You brought a gag and handcuffs. You want to gag me? Well, yeah, now." I do love that opening. So.
All right. Well, we can go to the interview now.
Yeah,
I think.
That wasn't the interview.
That was
okay.
Just,
we
bring some news stories.
No,
to
we
the
got
table.
Mark the Griller here.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, we need your spotlight.
Is this a no spin zone?
Heck yeah. So, why did you leave Milwaukee, sir?
Why did I leave Milwaukee?
A lot of gambling debt.
Yep. Yep.
Owed some
Witness
wrong people
protection.
some money. Saw a murder.
Pretty much your typical movie, yeah.
I saw a murder, and then I murdered a guy.
The reason I ended up moving out of Milwaukee was I wanted to pursue higher education, law school, and I applied to several. Marquette accepted me, which was awesome. Marquette was pretty costly. I wanted to go to law school at the lowest because I'm what you probably call an idealist lawyer. And I was naive. I thought when you go to law school, you just sit around talking about how to make the world a better place. So a small Catholic school in Pittsburgh actually reached out to me. Never heard of them before, and they offered me a small scholarship, but it was a scholarship, and they were a lot cheaper. So, and the cost of living was lower, so I decided to accept them. And also my job in Milwaukee had a office there, so I could just transfer there. And I talked to everyone there and all the students. And I didn't know anyone in Pittsburgh, but my potential roommate or my prospective roommate, who ended up becoming my law school best friend, he had an apartment in a place, so I talked with him, and it just worked out. And I decided to pick up and seek out new adventures there.
Yeah, it's very brave of you. I don't think I have the balls to do that.
Yeah, well, my best friend, who I used to hang out all the time, ended up getting a girlfriend who now he's married to, and I had no one to call.
Sorry, guy.
Yeah, Mark, jerk.
You know, speaking of married.
Yeah.
Your anniversary was in September?
Yep, my first year anniversary. I saw my wife for about 2 days for the whole year that I was married to her. So
that's an awesome marriage.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you live in Pittsburgh, but you like drive to DC?
Yeah. Well, now my job, ever since I graduated law school and passed the bar, I work out of DC, and they send me all over the country. So, and not just for like 4 or 5 days. They send me for 4 or 5 weeks, sometimes 14 weeks at a time. So, and I drive back and forth on the weekends to Pittsburgh to spend time with my wife. I think that's why she married me, though, and why she still loves me, because she doesn't see me all that often, so she doesn't see the real me.
Absence makes the mind grow fonder, my friend.
The heart, the mind, everything. Like anything she thinks, you know what, I should probably break up with them, she would forget by the time she saw me, like a few weeks later. So, yeah, that works. I recommend that for any successful marriage so far.
Distance.
Yeah. The least time amount spent. You know, if you work an evening shift, or if your spouse works an evening shift, you want to get a day shift. That's what I recommend. I don't know. That works out for me. So,
all right.
A lawyer is standing in a long line at the box office.
Yeah.
Suddenly, he feels a pair of hands kneading his shoulders, back, and neck.
I know this joke.
A lawyer turns around. What the hell do you think you're doing? I'm a chiropractor. I'm just practicing while I'm waiting in line. Well, I'm a lawyer, but you don't see me screwing the guy in front of me, do you?
Yeah. Boom.
You keep talking. I'll keep looking up lawyer jokes.
Well, what's the difference between a lawyer and a skunk?
What is that?
If you see a skunk in the road, you should stop.
Ooh, that's cold.
Yeah.
You know, my
Yeah,
wife's late
you're cold
father
as
was
ice,
a
man.
lawyer, sir.
Yeah, he was a lawyer for one of the biggest firm, I think, in Wisconsin.
I'd never heard of them.
Godfrey and
until-
Kahn. That was a huge. I knew of them. My mother was a paralegal, and she had worked for them, but they were always like number 1 or number 2 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I mean, I think they handled like GM and all that
Well,
stuff.
watching TV shows like Better Call Saul, you learn things like good law firms don't advertise. So it's like the really
Oh.
good ones you never see on TV, or they don't have billboards. It's purely word of mouth.
Hey,
Yes and no.
a good lawyer knows the law. A great lawyer knows the judge.
Yeah. That's very true. Very true. There's been some cases that I've been on where it helps to have a lawyer who knows the judge.
I bet.
The whole thing about being a lawyer, if you're going to trial, whether the defendant or the plaintiff, whether one of them is absolutely in the right, you still don't know how a jury or a judge is going to read the situation, and they could do anything, and they could. Sometimes judges don't even know the law. I've had cases where a judge will make an order, and I'll appeal it, and I'll win on appeal right away because the judge just kind of did what they wanted to. It's an abundance, just a ton of information you have to know as a lawyer or a judge.
If you have a bad judge, do you try to push for a trial by jury, or is that not always an option?
It's an option. It depends on what the case is, but it's an option. But it's a gamble. You might have for instance, I've been on cases where the defendant I believe that they're in the right, but I won't push for a trial. I won't push for a jury because they're just not going to be a good witness. While I have a judge who can identify the law. Sometimes juries go with their heart instead of the law. That's very possible. So you have to kind of look at how you got to make a gamble. And once you do it, then you're kind of stuck. If you say, I want to do it with a jury or a judge, and then you're seeing that it's not going the way you need it to go, you can't just say, oh, you know what? I want to do a jury.
Redo.
Yeah, you can't just do it. And you can make something up and you can say, to try to get a mistrial and be like, I slept with my client, or
That's where
my client,
place your brain goes.
or my defendant did this. The only way my defendant was allowed to do this is because God let him do it. Then you can try and get a mistrial, but you're also going to get disbarred pretty quick.
Yeah.
How many clients can you fuck before you're disbarred? Is it like the strike system, baseball?
You can't sleep with any clients ever.
Not even
No.
afterwards?
Afterwards, yes.
Afterwards, you're fair game?
Afterwards is fair game, but
As soon as that gavel pounds, I am honor.
So
Yeah.
it's literally illegal to have relations with your client?
it's not illegal.
It's just
You're not going to
unethical.
get arrested. Yeah, it's unethical. You could get disbarred for it.
You're not going to be sharing a cell with a 94-year-old chick.
The two things that boards are looking at, the ethics board, they're looking for money, stealing money, and any kind of, I guess, relationship with that sexual relationship. They don't really want you. They don't want that. They frown upon that.
So if you're
What's so
banging
bad
a
about that,
client
though?
and I'm the other lawyer and I see that,
What if you're...
Say that again.
so if you're a lawyer
Yeah.
and you're representing Tom and you two are having gay relations,
Yeah.
and
The
I
best
see that as
relations.
the opposing lawyer, you're the defendant and I'm
Yeah.
the prosecutor, do I
You might
sit on that knowledge, and then if things aren't going well, I pop that out to...
Well, no. Then you not only then would I be under investigation, then you would go under investigation because you knew of it and you didn't right away report it.
It's
Really?
withholding.
Yeah. You wouldn't. So like if I'm telling you right now, I'm going to give you a reference from LA Law, how I practiced, how I learned to study, what I learned to pass the bar.
The real
But there's
law
an
school.
actual episode on LA Law where the main character learned that his opposing attorney was not a licensed attorney. And he actually went to that attorney and said, "Hey, we're going to settle or I'm going to report you." And they didn't settle, right? But so because he knew, not only did he got the guy, the star, I'm stumbling now. The star actually got put on temporary probation and couldn't practice law for a few months because he knew that he was still going to go to trial, even though he knew this attorney did not have a license.
Huh.
And he kind of used it as a way as leverage. Can never use leverage against you.
But wouldn't the instant that information come to light, wouldn't that the information that the other lawyer is not a registered lawyer or whatever, wouldn't that instantly end the.
It would be a mistrial, but at the
mistrial.
same time, you want to also look at your client's interest, because if you spent $10,000, if you've charged $10,000, your client's paying you $10,000 for this trial, now it goes to mistrial. That means you're going to have to start all over again, and that's another $10,000. Look at the O.J. Simpson trial. Marsha Clark made a few mistakes there, and the California had already spent over $1 million. And if they would have got that mistrial when they learned that Judge Ito's wife actually disciplined Furman, stuff like that, they would have to start over from scratch and cost the California taxpayers $1 million again. So Marsha Clark had to make the decision on whether to continue or to get a mistrial. So I mean, trials aren't cheap, and you also don't want to charge your clients who you have medical insurance. You don't have legal insurance. Like, nobody pays a month to have legal insurance unless you're part of a union and it involves your work. But no one plans to have legal expenses. So,
Okay.
yeah. It's
You're
almost
saying-
like, it's like if you're a teacher, if you know that you're a science teacher, I'm a math teacher, you're sleeping with one of your students. I know it, but we're good friends, but I don't want to report it. And I just tell you to end it.
Well,
and it
that's
comes to
potential
light.
pedophilia.
Yeah, but I'm
College
withholding.
professor.
I'm
the
withholding that
college
information.
Professor who's sleeping with his fully aged student.
Well, that's that. But if I knew about it and I didn't tell the board, I'm just as guilty and wrong as you are.
Okay.
So
here's a question.
Yeah.
What if your wife
yeah,
walks into this room,
His wife is a saint.
she is.
grabs Mark by the cock and cuts it off and runs out the window?
Yeah.
I had it coming.
Can you defend her even though you're sleeping
As
with
her
her?
husband.
I'd have to double check. It wouldn't be wise. It wouldn't be wise for me to defend her, because the lawyers remove the emotion out of it. So
Okay.
if you're a client, I'm emotional about it. I'm going to want, I don't know.
Plus, you're a witness at this point.
Yeah, I'm a witness. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of things going on there.
So what if your mother needed representation?
Yeah.
Would you refuse to represent her?
Well, I'm not sleeping with my mother.
I know, but it's a familiar
No, I can
relationship.
represent her. I can represent her on that.
Okay.
Your mother is the first pussy you had your head wrapped around.
I don't remember that though. No, actually, I was born by C-section. So
Okay.
Mrs. Makarewicz is a saint.
All right.
yeah, that's very true.
I just slipped right out of my mouth.
I too was a C-section baby. The
Really?
only way to travel.
That's why you can shave your head and it looks so good. Mine got
That's
all
why my head is
squeezed.
perfectly shaped.
Yeah, it's just perfectly round.
Are you telling me that those go hand in hand? If you were C-section, you can have a decently shaved head?
I think so. I think
Or
the
look good
pussy
with a
didn't
shaved head?
crush it on the way out,
I have seen some photos of babies with weird skull shapes.
and they weren't C-section.
But my baby's got a great skull shape, and she was traditional.
Yeah, but
she
she
was
was
small, though.
like
She
a
was
peanut
born-
when she was born.
She
Yeah,
was
early.
born early, way early, 6 weeks early. So
Yeah.
she was on the small side.
So that's why. Wait till you have a full term.
Prenatal
It's
vitamins.
going to look like Beldar Conehead coming out.
That's when you want to take the prenatal vitamins.
Yeah.
The pills that are about like the size of your palm or your hand.
There you go.
Horse pills?
Yeah, they're pretty.
Suppository only.
Actually, no, I think you have to take them orally. So,
All right.
All right. So what are you doing in Milwaukee this weekend?
I'm here because we are putting the finishing touches on an art studio we're opening up in Whitefish Bay. So I don't know if your listeners listen to Whitefish or from Whitefish Bay.
Oh, they're from all over.
huh? All
we have
over.
listeners from Korea.
What? From China.
We got, what do we all
London.
got there, Mo?
We had some
London,
British
Australia, Korea, the Philippines.
Wow.
and Hartford, Wisconsin.
Boom. That was the hardest
All the
one to
big
get.
ones.
Well, if any of them ever come to Whitefish Bay, they can have an experience in learning how to paint. They can pick a painting, and we'll teach them step by step how to do it. And in 2 hours, they can go home with their own masterpiece, and they can drink beer and wine while they're there. So they can get a little bit tipsy while they're doing
All
it.
right, so explain that concept a little better. What is it all about?
So it's called it's painted with a twist. It's called
Painted with a twist.
Yeah, it's a paint
Okay.
and sip studio. So what people do is we have a calendar. They have different paintings, landscape, things that the landscape, moonshots. We try to incorporate as much as we can. Animals. We have a paint your own pet, so people send a picture of their dog or cat, and we'll teach them how to paint it. They sign up for a class. They come in. We give them step-by-step instruction. We have talented artists who can show them how to do it. They can have a beer or a glass of wine or two while they're doing it, and they can walk away with a masterpiece. It's actually a really cool concept. People discover their inner artists. So,
well, that's awesome.
Any artists here in this room?
No, Susan is downstairs.
Yes, but you guys, like, you would think that, but then you go to it. I didn't think I was, and I went to one of the classes and I painted my own little painting.
Does the studio supply the canvas and the paint?
We supply everything. For the price, you get everything but the alcohol.
I was going to say, what about the alcohol?
Yeah, no, not yet. No, we don't do the alcohol. So
I have to bring my own Magnum bottle of wine.
No, well, here's this thing in Wisconsin. So the concept started where it's a BYOB. It started down in Louisiana after Hurricane Katrina. It was a community thing. After Hurricane Katrina, they wanted to bring the community together and teach them how to paint and build up confidence and show that people can do it. And it just caught on like wildfire. They're the first ones to do it.
But in Louisiana, you can just drink on the street.
Yes, you can bring your own stuff. In the state of Wisconsin, back to legal stuff now, you cannot be a BYOB in the state of Wisconsin. You have to sell, the alcohol has to be sold on premises, and also in the state of Wisconsin, I can't just go to Costco and buy it and then sell it. Yeah. You have to get it through a distributor. So it's very fascinating. So here we're getting local beer and wine like Lakefront Brewery, New Glarus. We're going to do some wine from Door County. I'm thinking of local ones here that we'll have for sale there at reasonable prices, not lower prices. Because for us, it's more the experience of the painting. That's what we want to do. We want to give people the experience of the painting. And you'd be surprised.
I want to get fucked up while I paint.
You go there and people are expecting to go there to get, but by the time you're done, you realize you only had maybe one beer or one drink because you were so involved. You want to get this painting right. So we'll have cool ones of local Milwaukee images. We'll do the Milwaukee Art Museum, the Milwaukee skyline, which is actually getting a lot better since I left here. I remember there wasn't much of a Milwaukee skyline.
Yeah. What's changed?
The new Northwestern Mutual building. That's pretty cool. You can kind of get that with the image of the Milwaukee Art Museum. Milwaukee Art Museum, which has been now 10, 15 years.
Yeah. Well, I haven't been to Milwaukee in a couple of months.
Oh, okay. But Milwaukee's really growing. I'm surprised at how much it's growing.
Like I said, I haven't noticed anything. I guess you have to leave and come back to notice these things.
I guess. Well, just in the city of Milwaukee itself. I mean, Grafton's growing out here.
Yeah, Grafton's blowing
huge. Up. I mean, they're putting up another hotel, and I'm like, who's coming to Wisconsin and be like, I'm going to stay in a hotel in Grafton? But they have like 4 major hotels
until Oak Creek got the Ikea. There was talk of an Ikea in Grafton.
Oh, I would have loved to get an Ikea. Wait, there's an Ikea in Oak Creek?
They're built there. Yeah, it's half built or whatever.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I like Ikea a lot.
So we don't have to pay ridiculous Illinois sales tax.
I love Ikea a lot. All right. So I remember
we don't have any listeners in Scandinavia yet.
I'm just telling you. Is it based out of Scandinavia or is it Sweden? Sweden. But we bought a fixer upper like you're doing your fixer upper, and our kitchen pretty much is all from Austria now. Like even the wood.
Oh yeah.
The floors we got are made in Austria, but we looked at counters. We had to redo the whole kitchen, the cabinets and the countertops and everything like that, and we went to some of those chain places and then also artisans, mom and pop, and they were like $10,000-$12,000, and that was all out the countertops and for the most plain looking and unpainted and unfinished. We went to Ikea and they have beautiful cabinetry and the countertops, and we got it for half the price. It's just the kitchen looks
somebody's
pretty
got
plush.
A contract with Ikea.
We got our kitchen sink from Ikea.
And they have beautiful sinks, though. The way we space.
If Mr. Ikea is listening, send us something.
If a pallet of meatballs show up at my door, I'm not going to complain.
But a lot of the stuff we put in the studio is Ikea stuff. But I had to order it online because I wasn't going to drive down to Chicago. They should have opened it a year ago. I should open it when I needed it.
Well, now it's there for when you expand to your other locations.
Yeah.
Is this the first locations in Wisconsin?
We are the first one in Wisconsin. So the Painting with a Twist is a franchise. It's in about 30 plus states now. There's over 300 locations. We're the first one in Wisconsin. So there's a couple of mom and pop ones around now, but it's actually interesting. One actually contacted me. They were in Brookfield. And he wanted to sell it to me, so he got a mom and pop one, and he signed the worst lease ever. This is another thing, you should have a lawyer look at your leases, but he signed the worst lease ever. I've never seen a lease like that. And they ended up going out.
And trust a lawyer when he says you need a lawyer to look at everything. You trust a lawyer when he says you have to pay
trust
money.
Trust would verify. Yeah, trust would verify. You want to call around a lot of lawyers, just like anything. You get bids. You get 3 bids.
If you are stranded on a desert island with Adolf Hitler, Attila the Hun, and a lawyer, and you have a gun with 2 bullets, what do you do? Shoot the lawyer twice.
Some really good ones.
All right. Molly liked that one. Oh,
A
yeah.
lot of good lawyer jokes out there.
Yeah,
So, your wife's family has been doing a lot to restore parts of Pittsburgh. When I was there for the wedding, they were redoing like a whole little suburb.
Oh, they're going to have to really restore Pittsburgh this weekend because New England's coming to town.
Oh,
They're
that's going to be a good
We got
matchup.
a Pats fan over here.
Yep.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But acceptance is the first step to recovery, Tom.
I know, it's really tough, though. Every time I look at Tom Brady, I get blinded by all those Super Bowl rings shining in my eyes.
You know what?
Do you?
Aaron Rodgers is back, so I'm just saying.
Do you think that they should be playing him?
No.
No, but they're
My
going
medical
to.
profession says no. No.
I mean, how many? He had 13 screws, right?
Yeah.
And they're
In a bone less than a chicken leg.
And now it's stronger than ever.
it's titanium.
He's more machine now than man. Twisted and evil.
It's made of the same material that what was it? What was the Terminator material made out of? What was that?
Wolverine was adamantium.
Yeah, adamantium. That's what they put in him. So he
Hala
reheals
Mala alloy or something was the Terminator.
But it was.
That was the T1000.
Yeah.
You know,
Get your model straight. We're talking about the T800.
Jesus Christ, man. Sorry, dude. I'll go do some push-ups. I got like one in me. I've been saving it.
So are you going to be rooting then for the Patriots?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm not the biggest football person. I'm more baseball, basketball, and now I'm a diehard hockey fan.
Okay.
But Tom Brady's overrated, I think.
Really?
I very much think he is. Like, I look at the statistics and
So you
his
think
run.
he's just the greatest alive, not the greatest of all time.
I wouldn't even go there. I look at Tom Brady and I look at how the Patriots set up their organization, and the first thing they did after they got Brady is they got a whole offensive line. While I look at the Steelers and I would look at Ben Roethlisberger, and they
Say
pretty much
that
said
the first thing he did was rape a girl in a bathroom?
that was never proven.
Hashtag me
from
too.
a lawyer.
I'm very much of innocent until proven guilty, though America seems to be going
He
guilty
served
until
6
proven
games for
innocent
raping
now.
a girl in a bathroom. Fair enough.
Either way, there's Tom Brady and an offensive line, while pretty much Ben Roethlisberger is the offensive line for the Steelers. They
who's
never
on
gave
New
him any
England's
protection.
offensive line. Or name a Hall of Famer.
That's just the nature of O-line. No one knows any of their names. We're going to do what the Packers did and just go round up 5 guys at
Tom
the
Brady's
bus stop.
like the most sacked
Well, yeah.
quarterback this year, too.
Well, they just wait. Which he's due for, because he's been the least sacked quarterback since Roethlisberger, Brady,
he always
and
takes sacks.
no. Look at
Always.
Roethlisberger. Roethlisberger's been sacked the most since that draft, because Brady and Roethlisberger were the same draft, I think, same year, right?
Doesn't
Were they not?
No, Brady's way.
Is he older? You
Brady's
sure?
2001
is Brady the oldest NFL quarterback right now?
right now.
I thought he was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it was from 2004, the statistics I read then.
Yeah.
Sacks, but Roethlisberger has been sacked. He was sacked the most.
Yeah, but doesn't Pittsburgh? Doesn't he run a lot?
No, it depends on who he's got open, but Roethlisberger
He holds
he's a
on
big
to the
guy.
ball a lot.
Yeah.
He looks
He looks like
he
a
looks.
fullback.
He doesn't roll out from the pocket. They don't protect him like they do
Yeah,
with
he's a big
Rodgers.
guy. When he walks into the ladies' room and locks the door behind himself, you give him ground.
You know it's
you know.
you know, huh?
You're going to find out why you call me Big Ben.
So how long did it take you to abandon all of your Wisconsin teams, Mr. Pittsburgh?
I haven't abandoned any of them. When I first got there, they tried. They're like, well, you can't be here. You can't be in Steeler country without becoming a Stiller, as they call them, Stillers. And I said, yeah, it'd be one thing if I'm from Wisconsin. We're America's #1 team. We have the biggest fan base. We're not Patriots. We're not from New England. We're not going to abandon our team. But
He's taking
So-
cheap shots.
Yeah, I think
Trying
it's going
to.
to be a throwdown.
we're not going to
after
get on
this
a
podcast.
bandwagon. We like the Packers whether they're good or not.
Hey, the first year I became a Patriots fan, they were 2-14. And I hated the Buffalo Bills.
They were 2-14 in 1984.
They were 2-14 in 1992. And the Bills were 14-2, and they lost 2 games to the Patriots.
Is that before or after Bledsoe?
Before Bledsoe, and then I really was a huge Bledsoe fan.
Okay.
Actually, I have a box of Drew Bledsoe stuff right at the bottom of the steps.
I like how you're moving in to the
Hey,
Highland
Make
Tower.
himself comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't think I brought this much stuff to the studio.
No, hold on one second. Gotta go. I'll be right back.
I'll describe the scene. There are multiple plush Hulk Hogan action figures, stuffed animals.
They're dolls.
Dolls?
Not stuffed animals.
You're saying he's not a beast?
You got the Hulk Hogan boa behind you.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh, look, it's Steeler colors. Look at that.
Is that a Barbie doll of Drew Bledsoe?
Oh, it's better than a Barbie doll.
I think they call those pleasure dolls.
Does he have a pink convertible with that?
Oh, he's got a helmet.
Wait,
More Drew Bledsoe. See, I'm not a
Is he
bandwagon
wearing
fan.
underwear? Is that? They're just short shorts.
Drew Bledsoe does
No,
not
the
play
mini
Commando.
figure.
The little
The
minifigure.
minifigure.
There's just short shorts.
Why do they have them in hot?
It was the
pants?
80s.
Why do you have hot pants on Drew Bledsoe? What?
Well, he's practicing.
And look, what is this top?
Quite the midriff, yeah.
Yeah. What's with this top?
The belly shirt.
With the abs.
wearing
Why
Dude,
does
it
he
was
have to
the
show
early
abs?
90s. What the hell do you want?
I don't
Hot
remember
belly shirt.
football players wearing these on the field.
Well, how old were you in 93?
8?
Yeah, 7. Well, 9.
That's
Maybe.
right, you're older than me. I forgot.
6 months.
As Tom
Wait till you hit my age.
digging through his box of goodies.
Here we go. Another Hulk Hogan pin. That makes 6 for the side table here.
This is a weird figurine.
Yeah, that looks weird.
Was
See?
that from the Wheaties box or something? Or
You don't see any Tom Brady stuff in here. When Drew
It
Bledsoe's...
had to have come in a Wheaties box because I don't foresee any
No, I
parent
bought that.
buying. Really?
I bought that. That's
Well, so you bought this when you were what? 9, 10?
like 15.
Oh, 15. You knew better then when you bought this.
Yeah, but check this guy out. He's huge.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Boom. We'll put Drew up here. You got a spot for him?
Ah.
All right. So, not a bandwagon Patriots fan.
All right. I'll give
you
you
still
that.
root for the Brewers?
Oh, of course. Diehard Brewers fan.
That was actually your bachelor party. Was a Pirates Brewers game here in Milwaukee.
Just happened that way. Pirates fans, I feel for them because they had a losing team, but I like that they were losing because you can get a ticket for $3 down by the dugout.
That's why you like the Brewers.
So I could
Get
go
your
see all
euchre
my
seats.
Brewers. Look at, does this go on his face?
Yeah, that's a helmet.
It's a weird looking cod piece.
That's weird. So he's got the protection for the helmet, but nothing for the midriff.
Yeah.
or
Nothing.
anywhere.
No.
Are you familiar with concussions?
Yeah.
I've heard of CTE. It was founded in Pittsburgh. If you guys ever want to know what Pittsburgh looked like, you want to get the very entertaining movie Jack Reacher starring Tom Cruise.
Oh, I
Pretty good
liked.
movie. I enjoyed that movie.
The Living Dead. Not the.
Yep.
Which one was
Return
it?
of the Living Dead?
No, it was
Oh shoot, the
Day
Romero
of
one.
the Dead.
The
No, not.
Georgia Romero one, right?
Yeah, the one that took place in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
It's the Three Rivers
Day
protected
of
the whole
the Dead.
city.
Land of the Dead?
No, it wasn't Land of the Dead. Oh
Might
my
have been
gosh.
Land of the
Because
Dead.
I think.
Don't worry.
Day of the Dead was in Florida because there was alligators. And
Yeah,
stuff.
but there was a remake with John Leguizamo.
No, that wasn't a remake. That was another Romero. He's made like 5 Dead movies. I want to say that was Land of the Dead. Because that one played at Saukville.
Yes, Land of the Dead. You are correct,
Yeah, I
sir.
saw that one when I was working at the
That one
theater.
took place in Pittsburgh.
Because that was
Loved
like
it.
peak zombie craze for me personally.
Dawn of the Dead, wasn't it?
No,
Dawn
it
of
was
the
Land
Dead
of the Dead.
was-
Right here. I got it up.
Got it.
Did they in the original? Did they say where it took place? The remake, of course, took place in Milwaukee.
Yep.
I did not know that.
That was supposed to be Bayshore Mall or something. Not Bayshore Mall.
Shorewood.
No. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Keep moving.
None of this matters. All right, we are way off the rails. What were we talking about here?
We were talking about my wife's parents.
Yeah,
They are trying to do a resurgence, and they live in a more in a neighborhood outside of Pittsburgh. Yeah, well, it's a good thing that they're doing. So they started what they call a community cafe. There are some that are already out there. Some down south. John Bon Jovi has one.
John Bon Jovi.
The John Bon Jovi. Out in I think New Jersey is where he's from. So it's a community. It's a pay what you can cafe. So it's to help underprivileged people who can afford a meal or who can't afford a meal. So you can go in. Usually their meals are $10, but like my wife and I will go in. We'll give like $40. That'll pay for our meal, and then it'll pay for 2 people that can't afford a meal. And also give some people volunteer opportunities and stuff like that. It's actually it's a really good cause. So they're trying to bring back some of these old steel factories in Pittsburgh.
Beautiful little downtown area. It's just everything's empty.
Yeah, that's the thing. I would like for it to become like the biggest charitable like hub town, because I also now have a big animal charity there. The YMCA is huge in the community. They're trying to help underprivileged kids, stuff like that. It's a really good cause. So nice. We had our wedding reception there as they were getting it going. Actually, today they had Santa there. My wife sent the Santa.
Oh, snap.
From the North Pole.
Son of a
What
bitch.
are we doing here?
Yeah, my wife sent me a picture of it, but he's just sitting there in a corner by himself. There's no one around him. Like, did anyone come? And she goes, yeah, plenty of people came. But you can't photo kids. You can't take pictures of kids.
He must have killed all his elves.
Oh, yeah? We recently watched a movie about Santa killing zombie elves.
Pretty sure it was a documentary.
Yeah.
Filmed in real time.
Evil Dead, the Christmas version?
No, we reviewed A Christmas Horror Story on Netflix.
Oh.
That was the name of the movie,
Yeah.
A Christmas Horror Story.
I picked it.
Netflix has some very interesting films.
And
sometimes.
you too can now tune in, and we will have that episode posted probably before Christmas, I hope.
Yeah, but on Tuesday. it'll
Yeah,
be
it dropped
posted.
on Tuesday, so you, Brendan, can download and listen to our review.
I'm going to now.
All
I
right.
still am trying to figure out what a podcast is, but I will
Don't
figure
It's like
it
a
out.
radio show on your phone.
Well, Brendan, what do you want to... We got to wrap this up here, so
Fine.
what do you think? Yeah.
Get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah, fuck you, thanks. Get your silly ass back to Pittsburgh to see the Patriots whoop your ass.
I'll be watching the game.
No. You want to boost anything? Advertise more stuff? Where you work? What
paint it
in
with
case
a
you get in
twist.
trouble?
Go
Paint it with a twist.
Go
Your
like
parents-
our Painting with a Twist Facebook page. We're on Whitefish Bay, Painting with a Twist. Like our page. We'll have our upcoming grand opening, which is coming in January. Community Cafe in Pittsburgh. If you're looking for a good cause and if you're in Pittsburgh, you're listening to it, check it out. Maybe see if you can, if you want to, you can donate it. Other than that, I really don't know.
That was perfect.
No, it was awesome. Thank
know
you
what
for
other
just
boosts.
popping in.
Yeah,
Hey,
thanks for the
you get a
last
free
minute
pass
jump in.
anytime you want to pop in.
All right. Is this where it's all
And you
going
could be
to
on the podcast too.
Yeah.
Is this
Next
where
time
it's
we'll hit record. So, yeah, this is
good
a
times.
new place,
Good times.
so-
I enjoy it. I like the chimney right in the middle of the room.
I know, really centers the room.
Yeah, and the rug ties the room together.
Ties the room together.
I just need a marmot.
All right. Well, Universe. Mark, you got your reads there? You ready?
Sure. All
Some
right.
reads.
So our website is theunipodcast.com. You can follow us on Twitter at Unipodcast. We have a Facebook page at facebook.com/Unipodcast. You can ask Tom anything. We didn't get to that segment today.
Nope, that's all right.
But you know what, Universe, keep the questions coming. Ask Tom anything 414@gmail.com. Podcast is available on iTunes, YouTube, SoundCloud,
one?
and many other podcast hosting sites.
You want to do one quick Ask Tom anything?
He's going to do one.
for Brendan,
I just
we're going to
wanna-
You
stop
got-
everything, and we're going to do it.
We're gonna do it. All
I
right.
don't want your
you got-
fans to lose out on
You
not
got
getting
a you got a question for Ask Tom anything.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to read it from a viewer or a listener.
We got them.
We have a few from listeners.
I don't want to deprive your fans.
All right,
of-
okay. Brendan, Tom, both of you. Tom, if every time you made an entrance, a song played, what song would your song be?
Oh, you fucking know what it would be.
I am
Purple Rain.
Oh, it's Danger Zone.
Danger Zone.
Danger Zone every time.
What?
But you know what I would actually, what I would prefer more than entrance music is I would prefer,
Fireworks.
no, a dude. Like
Drew Bledsoe.
a dude in like a dude in front of me that is just like
A trumpeter.
now entering Uncle Tom, and then I walk into the room and everybody looks at me like, yeah, that's right. Go into the next room, dude announces me. That's what I would prefer
That would get real old.
for you,
Real
not
fast.
for me. So I think Danger Zone. I can't steal Hulk Hogan's thing. I mean, it's a legend.
You'd be borrowing it.
Oh, I'd have to ask him. And with the restraining order,
You don't have to call.
I really can't ask him any more questions.
You wouldn't need permission for, is it, who wrote Danger Zone, Kenny Log?
Yep.
You wouldn't need permission from him?
Oh, I think we're cool.
He needs the money. He
If
needs
only
the
I knew a
royalties.
lawyer who could get me out of that.
Well, Brendan, what would your song be?
My song?
Oh, he took mine. No.
Probably something by Pearl Jam.
Most likely. Just trying to think.
I'm Still Alive.
No, that'd be too long. Because I would make everyone listen all the way to the end on that one.
I
We
can
just
go
go all
into
the
the
way
best
to-
part.
4 minutes before you
yeah.
enter the room.
A Nirvana song. At this guy's wedding, he had the DJ play a Nirvana song, Teen Spirit.
Yeah.
No one knows how to dance to Teen Spirit. But
No,
he
you
came
just
don't need
running.
to know how to
He
dance.
was outside of the hall talking, having a cigarette or something. He hears that. He comes bolting in, and he just starts jumping around like it's a mosh pit.
Oh, you
Yep.
killed me. I wasn't having a cigarette, Chelsea. I don't smoke.
Oh, no, he was watching me have a cigarette on
Yeah,
probably.
Skype.
I was probably
Well,
Watching
it-
me
around.
enjoy one.
Actually, I think it was actually you were talking with your mother about something that was important
Yes.
to her.
Mark, at your wedding, what song was the biggest hit with your piano players?
Danger Zone.
There you go.
Was that
My
really?
entrance song.
Because you kept requesting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had didn't you have like dueling pianos?
Wow.
Yes,
Two
we
of
had.
them?
Yeah, it was interesting.
Piano Brew dueling pianos. They're out of Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And we did Danger Zone.
Yeah, they didn't have just Danger Zone. They had a melody of all Kenny Loggins songs.
Yeah, but they looked at us when we requested it and they were like, really?
Like, yeah, wow. Well, they're.
But then they played it and everyone came out and was dancing
Yeah.
to it, and so they
I don't-
kept going with it.
I don't think they were aware of like how much that song had come back
Yeah.
Yeah.
for the
It
young
was a hit.
kids.
Yep.
You know, I probably would go with a Neil Young song. That's what I probably would do. Cinnamon Girl, maybe. Just
Oh,
kind of
so,
gets you rocking on it.
4 people in the world would know it.
Oh, they'd all know it after he started using
Well,
it.
Yeah.
Below the age of 30, probably 4 people.
Wait a minute. There's a song I don't know. Brendan must be coming in the room.
You hear something? I don't hear anything.
Do people even know Pearl Jam anymore?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I just heard Soundgarden on Classic 96.5. Pissed me off. Black Hole Sun was on it.
Oh, I just love these oldies. They just take me back.
I do like, what is that, 96.5 is WKLH, right?
Yep.
The classic rock. I remember having a conversation with
Yeah, that was oldies.
Danielle. I remember I was like, I won't listen to that station until they play Nirvana. And she said, why would they ever play Nirvana in there? Because it's not a classic. And I heard it not too long ago.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. Is it like a car? Is a song
Grunge
like a car
is now
now?
classic.
Yeah. How many years until a song becomes classic? Like cars are 20 years. How long before a song becomes a classic?
Well,
Gotta be 20
95.7
years.
used to play like 60s and 50s. Now they only play like 70s.
I hear
and
Bon
80s.
Jovi.
Yeah. So oldies is just what
20.
what 50-year-old people listen to.
So what are the 50s and 60s?
You
Do
can't
you
get that on the
consider
radio.
now?
I had to make my own custom mix CDs of my classic golden oldies.
Really? So wait, who plays the Beatles?
Everyone, every college dorm
So that
in
one-
America.
That one's exempt from the 50s and
The
60s era.
Beatles. Don't get me started. There's a rant. I could talk about the Beatles.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Yeah, we were wrapping this thing up, guys.
oh my bad.
We got to kill it.
All right.
All right.
We got to put this out of
Okay.
its misery. Anyway, come to our website. You can always hit the donate button. Everything you donate to us, we will put right back into the webpage.
Yep.
The whole podcast to make sure it's better.
If you think the podcast sucks, you should give us money and we'll make it better.
Or email your movie ideas, email anything you want to talk about,
Anything you want
email
us to
me.
review?
I'll give you some good answers. And always remember, universe, that we are not good enough for you.
Oh, and that question about the theme song was from a Fatty Nutmeg.
Okay.
A perennial favorite.
Are you ever going to
PH?
let this show die?
No.
All right. Thank you very much, universe, and we'll see you next time. Unless we're still talking till then. Bye.
So, about that